Now, I think I know why you clicked on this video. You got this annoying test and you didn't want to read the book. Or you just really enjoy or want to understand The Great Gatsby some more. Well, don't worry, because I got you covered. And if you change your mind about not wanting to read the book, I got an audiobook on it that I would put in the description below. F. Scott Fitzgerald's The Great Gatsby takes place in the early 1920s in the midst of the Roaring Twenties, a period marked by prosperity, jazz, prohibition, and a changing moral landscape. The story is narrated by Nick Carraway, a Yale graduate and World War I veteran from a modest Midwestern family who moved to New York to work in finance. He rents a small house in West Egg, a fictional community on Long Island. West Egg is home to the newly rich, those who have recently acquired wealth but lack established social status. This is where his enigmatic neighbor, Jay Gatsby, lives in a fashion mansion and throws extravagant parties every weekend. Across the bay is East Egg, home to old money aristocracy and traditional high society, including Nick's cousin Daisy Buchanan and her husband Tom Buchanan. Daisy is beautiful, shallow, and somewhat fragile, while Tom is an imposing, aggressive former football star with a cruel streak. Tom and Daisy's marriage is strained, partly because of Tom's affair with Myrtle Wilson, the wife of George Wilson, a poor mechanic who runs a garage in the nearby Valley of Ashes, an industrial wasteland symbolizing moral decay. One day, Nick receives an invitation to one of Gatsby's renowned parties, an honor few others enjoy. Gatsby's gathering are lavish spectacles filled with celebrities, jazz, flowing champagne, and a sense of mystery, as Gatsby himself is rarely seen among his guests. At the party, Nick learns that no one knows much about Gatsby's background. The rumors swirl about his wealth and possible connections to crime. Gatsby later seeks out Nick and strikes up a friendship with him, revealing that he specifically bought his mansion across the bay to be close to Daisy, his former love from before the war. Through Gatsby, Nick learns of a secret past between Daisy and Gatsby. They had fallen in love years before, but Gatsby left to serve in World War I, and Daisy, unable to wait for him, married the wealthy Tom Buchanan. Gatsby, however, never stopped loving her, and he has built his entire fortune with the single-minded hope of winning her back. Gatsby's wealth seems to be coming from his involvement in organized crime and bootlegging, which he believes will allow him to enter the ranks of the social elite and finally be worthy of Daisy. Gatsby asks Nick to invite Daisy to his house for a tea so they can reunite. The reunion is initially awkward, but Gatsby and Daisy rekindle their romance, with Gatsby believing he can now reclaim the love they shared. They begin an affair, with Gatsby dreaming of a future where Daisy will leave Tom and they can live together. One fateful day, tensions reach a boiling pot. Tom, growing suspicious, confronts Gatsby during a heated argument in the hotel suite in New York City. Tom reveals Gatsby's criminal connections to undermine him in Daisy's eyes, and Daisy is torn between her loyalty to Tom and her feelings for Gatsby. When they leave, Daisy drives Gatsby's car back to Long Island with Gatsby in the passenger seat. In a tragic twist, Daisy accidentally hits and kills Myrtle Wilson, Tom's mistress, in the Valley of Ashes. Gatsby is willing to take the blame, hoping to shield Daisy from the consequences of the accident. Tom seizes the opportunity to deflect the blame from himself. He tells George Wilson that Gatsby was driving the car that killed Myrtle, and implies that Gatsby was Myrtle's lover. Driven by grief and anger, George confronts Gatsby at his mansion and kills him before taking his own life. Gatsby dies alone, still waiting for Daisy, who chooses to stay with Tom and retreats into her comfortable, privileged life. In the aftermath, Nick organizes Gatsby's funeral but is devastated by the lack of attendees. None of Gatsby's high society friends partygoers, or business associates shows up. Only Nick, Gatsby's father, and a few other attend. Nick realizes the hollow nature of the social world Gatsby longed to join, and become disillusioned with the East Coast wealthy, morally bankrupt society. In the end, Nick decides to return to the Middle West, feeling that the East Coast has lost its allure. Before leaving, he reflects on Gatsby's tragic pursuit of an idolized love and the elusive American dream. Gatsby, longing for Daisy, becomes a metaphor for the American dream itself, a tantalizing yet unattainable vision that drives people forward, often towards disillusionment. Through Gatsby's story, Fitzgerald criticizes the American dream, revealing its darker side as well as the emptiness of a society obsessed with wealth and status. Gatsby's obsessive pursuit of an ideal, even after achieving material success, shows how dreams can be corrupted by reality, leaving behind only longing and loss. Nick's final reflections on Gatsby's unwielding hope reminds readers of the beauty and tragedy of the dreams that they may never come true, yet drive people forward nonetheless. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to like and subscribe and comment down below if you want any other book summaries.